Good day everyone, Brayden here coming to you from EPCOT. Today is the first day of cast member previews. There are 2 days of cast member previews, and then this Wednesday, EPCOT reopens to the public. I'm not a cast member. Cast members were able to invite guests. I'm so thankful to be here, to be able to cover what's going on with EPCOT. Right now we are here in the promenade area, and as you can see, for the first time, both sides of the EPCOT entrance, the reimagined EPCOT entrance, are open, both sides of the pathway. We also have all these new pathway lights, and really all the walls now are all just on the fountain, the EPCOT fountain. That's the last thing we're waiting on. The original EPCOT Prism fountain is gonna be returning right here very soon, and I'm so excited for us to see that. Also outside the front of the park, another change since the lockdown, Disney has repainted the ticketing booths with this new color scheme, and each color corresponds with a different one of those new pavilion logos we saw unveiled at the D23 Expo. It was a breeze getting in. There were a lot of cars, but it's because everyone was waiting to enter. They weren't letting people through yet. The temperature check is outside the monorail station. Looks really nice. Everyone was following physical distancing. Very good to see. Here you can see the Guardians Coaster Ride building, and here you can see Spaceship Earth. I haven't seen Spaceship Earth in so long. A sight for sore eyes. Now I'll be here on Wednesday, opening day, and that's when we'll take a look at how the opening day procedures work, what the crowds are really like once the park is back open to the public. Today, we're gonna be taking a look at all the construction around the park, but before we get to all that, we have to do it. Spaceship Earth was supposed to close on May 26th for its reimagining. Now its reimagining is on hold, so thankfully we get to ride Spaceship Earth past its originally scheduled reimagining date. Let's go do it. 5-minute wait. Unsurprisingly, you can see we have a little bit of a line here. I suspect much like we're seeing a line over at Splash Mountain in the Magic Kingdom with people knowing it's sort of an endangered species, I suspect the same will be the case here at Spaceship Earth, people knowing sooner or later this current version will be getting replaced. When this attraction finally is reimagined, we should be seeing this load track expanded outwards. We'll see if that happens. As you can see, they are spacing people out. All right. I wonder how well the cutout they make of your face on this attraction will work with the masks. We'll see.
Our Spaceship Earth. Ready? Welcome to the future. Or should I say, your future.
Hey, it worked! In the exit to the attraction here, you can see what everyone looks like with their masks on, with their faces cut out on Spaceship Earth. You can also see there's a physical distancing sign. Everyone in those masks looks pretty funny there. Some people are saying it's kind of creepy. I don't know, let me know what you guys think. Outside of the Spaceship Earth post-show and exit here, where you have the bubblegum wall everyone loves to take their photo in front of, you can see it's all walled off. You cannot go past the exit to Spaceship Earth further into the park. You have to go on the bypass walkways instead, which can be a bit confusing, but I think on a day like today where it's mostly cast members and their invited guests, everyone knows where exactly they are going. If you look over the wall into the middle of EPCOT, where you have that giant crater where part of Innoventions has been demolished, a few things of note. If you look, there's a hook where the rope used to go up to make that canopy. Remember that canopy that went over the Pin Central? That's been removed, all the poles for that. Also, if you look at Innoventions East itself, it looks like there's a hole in it near the top there. I think something ran into it. I'm sure Disney will get that fixed up, but looking at the middle here, it does sound like there's a little work to me. I'm not sure if that's the case. We know that a lot of work is on pause. Hopefully they will get this middle area put together and reimagined soon, although the chances of that happening with all the cuts in capital expenditure and everything else makes it seem unlikely we're gonna see any of these walls go anywhere anytime soon. Right now we are on the Future East bypass walkway headed over towards Mission Space and Test Track. This area opened shortly before the lockdown began. We have these cool new pathway lights. This whole new area, the Future Entrance Promenade to the Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind roller coaster. Since last I was here, Disney's done a bit more work on the new solar cells that will be going on top of the original Universe of Energy Pavilion building, which will now be the queue area, the pre-show for the Guardians of the Galaxy coaster, and also where you'll load the attraction and then blast off through that tunnel that will bring you into the giant blue box Guardians of the Galaxy ride building. I don't see any work happening inside the construction walls on the attraction, but outside We do have a Disney lizard over here. Always great to see that Disney wildlife. Oddly, I just noticed this foot-operated hand wash station. Both sides are running, even though no one is using it. Odd. I don't know if you guys know this, but with the Starbucks coffee at Fountain View closed, there is a temporary Starbucks by the World Showcase, but here in Future World, all the coffee is over at this Joffrey stand. And signs, there's a really long line. So as you can see, Disney has set up social distancing markers outside of it, going all the way towards the Guardians coaster. If you look at the Golden Dome, there are these giant, they almost look like pallets, these wooden boxes that are harnessed to the top and side of the dome itself. Wild. If you're wondering what all this exterior work on the dome is for, you can also see some miscolored triangles there. Shortly before the parks closed, Disney took some of those tiles off as they anchor interior set fabrication to the dome structure itself. As we know, the inside is going to be a giant projection dome, and there's going to be all sorts of set elements. We have a piece of concept art right here. Whether or not we're going to be getting that and when, I think is something we'll find out soon enough. Here you can see some topiaries that are out in front of the temporary mouse gear location. If you remember, the old mouse gear location closed because it is going to be reimagined with a whole new design. Before the lockdown, they actually removed all the walls and the outside glass, the outer glass of the building on the side facing inwards towards the middle of Epcot. So it has just been completely open to the air ever since the lockdown began. Outside of Mission Space, you can see we have some construction walls. This is where the Space 220 restaurant entrance will be, where you'll be able to dine 220 miles up in the air, take a virtual space elevator up there, and eat in space. That is going to be very cool. It was supposed to open in late 2019, then early 2020, etc., etc. Here we are. We don't know the status of the Space 220 restaurant, but again, hopefully we'll be finding out the status of all these things quite soon. Right now there is a 25-minute wait here at Test Track. Here you can see all the switchbacks. Disney is prepared for this line to go outside, which I'm sure it will. We're gonna check this one out opening day with all the guests in it so we can see what the lines are like, what the actual wait time is, and how all of that works. Now, as we head over to the World Showcase, it should be noted the Food and Wine Festival is starting the earliest it ever has. It is starting July 15th, and you might be wondering why these booths, these food booths, are opening so much earlier. Usually they open in the fall. The reason why is because since so few people can make it to these parks for physical distancing reasons, Disney has to make sure that every guest is spending as much as possible. And we all know the food booths here in Epcot make Disney a lot of money, so I think that was the motivation behind when Epcot is reopening here, having food booths all the way around, already open, the Food and Wine Festival already underway. It is going to be the longest ever. Now, something interesting, some of the booths are not open yet. Like if you look here at the donut box, there's a sign that says it's coming this fall. So perhaps some of the booths we'll see open later. Further into Food and Wine, also the Cool Wash has plexiglass up and the menus and everything, but no activity yet. So we'll check back here in 2 days when the park officially opens to see if anything has changed here. Here you can see the Epcot preview show. The preview center is currently roped off. The Food and Wine Festival already? This is crazy. I really like the graphics this year. I've noticed it seems like each festival here in Epcot is sort of getting its mascot. And for Food and Wine, it's definitely Remy for sure. And I think we know for Festival of the Arts, it's definitely Figment. Here is Islands of the Caribbean, a food booth that is open. You can see the plexiglass shields at the cash registers and also the food pickup area. And as you can see, there are no lines. Disney has stated they're going to continue to sell some flower and garden merchandise here during the Food and Wine Festival. I forgot to mention earlier, Orange Bird is definitely the mascot for Flower and Garden. Crowds are definitely picking up over here in Mexico. We have some lines, we also have people in the shade. There's a lot going on. I think a lot of people, every time you go to Epcot, Future World just seems empty because everything's under construction. But when you go back in the World Showcase, that is where the people are, and it appears that is going to continue to be the case as we enter Food and Wine here. Here's a socially distanced line for Frozen Ever After. This is a cast member preview day, and the line already stretches out of the Norway Pavilion. One of my personal favorite places to grab a bite here in Epcot, the Kringle Og Bakery, is currently closed. We'll see if it's here opening day. I have never seen the small little seating area behind the bakery here this empty. There's always people eating the pastries they buy in there and all the food. And also the meet and greets, of course, are closed right now as part of the physical distancing measure. Very odd back here in Norway. Here we have a cavalcade coming between China and the Norway Pavilion with all the princesses on it and the horses. There they are. Wow. If you notice on the Princess Cavalcade, there's a layer of plastic between each row as part of the physical distancing. We have to run to the other side of the World Showcase right now because my friend Corey Meets World just told me the World Showplace is open. The building that Disney built for the Millennium Celebration a long, long time ago. Since then, they've held different special events and dining events at it. I have never been inside. Due to physical distancing, the normal area park atmosphere, those acts will be performing at the America Gardens Theater with Mariachi Cobre and the Jameters, some great musicians. On our way over to the World Showplace, here you can see the fountain is off at the France Pavilion, and these are the current crowds. The Ratatouille topiary from Flower and Garden is still here in attendance. You can also see the future entrance to Ratatouille. This is an area where there has been work going on. If you look at aerial photographs, Disney is finishing up that area behind the France Pavilion, that new part of the France Pavilion where you'll have the creperie and the new Remy's Ratatouille Adventure attraction. So everyone, I finally got to the World Showplace to find out that there is a virtual wait where you give them your phone number and then they text you back when it's your turn to go in to maintain that physical distancing. They said right now it's a 15 to 20 minute wait, so it'll probably be a little bit before we get to go in the shade. There's some food booths in there, and it's air conditioned, and it's inside. And I have to tell you, this mask on, walking around EPCOT, it's 90 degrees outside. I really, really, really need a cold beverage right about now. Well everyone, it's been about 1 minute and I already got the text to enter. Here we go. Into the World Showplace, which seems like it's sort of going to be the new festival center in a way, and also an indoor area for booths. You're witnessing history, my friends. Hello.
Hello.
Here's what you see when you enter. Some nice welcome sign on the ground. Some Disney logos moving around. So here we are in the main room. You can see we have food booths for them going down the side wall here. And then we have all of the physically distanced, excuse me, tables where people are eating their food. Today we're gonna be trying the Appleseed Orchard, and I'm gonna be getting the frozen apple pie. So what this is basically is a slushie with I think some sort of like apple pie crumb on top. Sort of a weird combination, but it tastes pretty good, and it is very cold, which is really all I was asking for. I just realized at the bottom there are apple pieces. It's like an actual inside of an apple pie, the filling. Whoa. Well, I have to say, that was pretty cool. Nice air conditioning, indoor food booths, first time in the festival showplace.
Thanks so much for visiting.
Thank you. Heading out of the World Showcase into Future World West, you can see we have some more food booths that are coming soon. And then right ahead of me, look at this. All the construction walls. Future World West is mostly construction walls. It's great to see the leaping fountains back up the Imagination Pavilion. So good to be home. Here you can see they've taken the overhead signage down at the breezeway in Innoventions West, this side that's soon to be demolished. And here we have in the distance the Future World West bypass to the park exit. So everyone, that's gonna do it for me here in EPCOT today on this preview day where we can see everything going on as far as the construction progress is concerned. I hear some construction work right now, or perhaps some demolition work, something going on over here by Innoventions West. We'll see if Disney announces anything as far as the future of some of these projects that are probably paused, what they're gonna do with them. And hopefully you enjoyed this construction update. I will be back here on Wednesday for the real opening day here in EPCOT, where we'll be covering all of the crowd levels, all of the physical distancing measures, where the relaxation stations are in this park, where you can take your mask off and be in the shade. We'll also check out some more food going on here with the Food and Wine Festival getting underway. Maybe, just maybe, we'll see those prisms rise here at the EPCOT fountain. We'll see what happens. Be sure to subscribe to those notifications on so you don't miss any of that on the way very soon. Live from EPCOT, this is Brayden. I'll talk to you soon. Have a magical day. Listen to that music.